So the next step is I'm going to be going and putting up this NVR rack. I'm going to be putting it up in this corner right here. Seems like a nice little spot. This here is the back of the rack. It's actually a lot bigger than it looks. It's just 4 spots, so I'm just going to use some gator clips to go and hold it in place. I'll show you. In preparation to be able to go and run the lines in, I'm going to have to go and take the top off of this. So I'm just going to use a hacksaw. I'm just going to take them off, and then I'll just file it down with a smooth filer just to go and get all the burrs off. Okay, so this is how it looks once you get it all set up. You just put it all together. So inside of it looks like this. That is a mount that you had to go put in. Just takes a couple screws in the back to hold it in. It's a light one. This is very heavy, this one here. So you can go and move the rails, as you can see underneath. You can just move those down, and then you just can place it on top and then screw it in, and then it'll all hold in place. You can see that my anchors are all in the back there. Again, I use 2-inch gator clip types so that they can hold into the wall very good. So this is the monitor I have. You just take it. I'm going to be screwing onto those screw holes there, and it's going to be going over here. I'm mounting it on this wall. So I just went, I got all the right sizes and stuff, and I went and I put in my drywall ring. As you can see, it's going to go up there. I'm not sure if I can see that, but I can tell where the joists were, and I just matched it all up. So I'm just going to go and finish putting up my monitor now. Alright, so you can see that I now have the monitor up there, and I have everything in the rack, and it's all sealed up. I also did all the stuff behind them. So if we go over here and look behind it, we'll see that I have it all bunched up nicely in there. You can see that I have a pass-through, so that's all good. Just push it back in. And then up here, just get the ladder in place. See that everything here is all set up. It's clean inside. Getting my power down there. Come on, focus. And then coming up through here again. That's where I'm getting all my lines from. They're all going up there. Coming down. So that's the first steps to doing this. Alright, so I already went and I did most of my BNC ends already, but I have one left, so I'll do that with you. So basically I just labeled them all. First thing you do is you want to just cut it off, make sure it's flush at the very end. And then, let's see, I wanted to go and make sure that they're all pushed in far enough. So I go and I match them up to right here on them. I'm going to make a dot with a felt pen. So I just measured it right here, and then a little felty, just so I know I'm about the right point. I'm going to put away my felty. And I take out your box cutter if that's what you want to use. That's what I use. And I just cut off a little bit at the top, about that much. I usually keep it shorter because I find that the longer you make these things, the more likely they're going to all fall apart on you and do crazy shit. So, slice that off. Try to make sure that there's nothing that was left up. There we go. Then you want to make another one. You don't want to go and pass the burring on the inside, so you just want to take out the outer coating. And you can make this one also small. Again, if you make it too big, it'll tend to go all over the place. So, just going to pull off all the extra little bits, and now I can just start plucking them down. You want to make sure that none of them are obviously touching the center copper, or else you're going to have a bad connection. You have a short. So just make sure, and then it should all look like that when you're done. You want to make sure that it's all looking good on the inside too. So once you got all that set up, now you're ready to go and take your end. I find that I use a pair of pliers, just put it right around where my line is, and now I can go and just feed it on, and you can kind of watch it and feel for the right spot. When you have it, now you just start twisting it clockwise. And that looks pretty good, about up to where my line is. Once you got that, take it off, take your compressor, slide it into your compressor. Now because the BNC, this was for a coax standard ends, it goes and crushes the hell out of the inside of this, so I gotta go and put something to block it. So I use this piece of metal just to make sure I don't crush anything important, and then you just compress it. And when you compress it, give it a couple extra squeezes at the end just to make sure it's compressed real good, and then you're done. If you did it right, you should be able to pull on it with a good amount of force. It shouldn't fall off, so I know this is a good connection. Later on I'll have to meter it just to make sure, because again, with these little RG59 coax to any kind of stuff, they're very iffy if they make a good connection. That's why RG6 is pretty good. And we'll see how it goes later. So I came in this morning, and one of these 4 wireless cameras was trying to connect, because how it works is basically just as a wireless signal that it sends out from the transceiver, and then it tries to talk to the camera, and then you just connect it up by giving it an address to it by just pressing a button, so it just auto connects. But anyways, I saw the connection, and then I went up there and I wanted to test it, so I'll go up there now. So pretty much this was the one up there, and I couldn't see what was really wrong with it, so I had to go up for a closer look. So pretty much with this one here, because it has LEDs on the front of it, the first thing I did was I just tried to do a thing where you would just cover it up with your hand and take it off. You can hear that click. That shows that it's switching from night vision to day vision. It wasn't doing it when I first came here, when I had the connection issues, so I figured it was probably just a power reset it needed. So another way, if it's bright, is you can use your light on your phone. You can just flash it in front of it, and it'll turn on the night vision too. So basically I just did the first assumption, so I did a power cycle. I just took the power off, put the power back on again, and that was enough to bring it back. But this was just from the very first night. There's 4 cameras here, and one of them already lost connection and couldn't get its connection back, so that's not really a good sign that these are a good quality camera. So because I didn't have a power supply, I had to go and do a lot with just power bars. So I got 2 500 milliamps running the camera each. I have this block over here that's good for 3 amps of 12 volts. It's handling the other 8 cameras. This is where all my connections are. Actually no, I guess this one is. That one over there is for the other cameras, but it's still another 3 block. Most of my connections are all here. I kind of pigtailed all 8 of them to one section and then went there. Over here I have my lines coming over. 2 of the bricks here are powering up 2 of each of these. These are your 4 wireless receivers, or transmitters I should say. Maybe receivers, I don't know. And they're all going to different cameras, and they're all labeled. If you have to ever reset them, there's a power bar which you can just yank off of them, and it'll help reset the battery for them, or the power. And also here, if I can focus this shit, yeah, you can see that there's pairing and resolution. You just hold down on the button for a couple seconds down there, and then you have to go over and rush over to your other camera, and then you press the pairing button on it, and it'll resync them if you ever lose them. So basically you just need one person up here and one person down by the camera you're having problems with, and that's how you get the pairing to work again. You just put it all back down. This is all done with barrel connectors. I had to splice a couple of these because I didn't have enough barrel connectors, but that doesn't affect anything. So we should be good here. And then of course it all goes over into my panel over there, but we don't want to look at that. And that's it. Give you guys a quick showing of the quality difference between the other resolutions compared to the new ones, which had some motion, but they're super blurry. But like, if you bring up one of these ones here, you can see the detail to it. And if you bring up one of the other cameras here, like this one's a night mode for whatever reason, this is the wireless ones. See, you lose a lot of the image, and if people were walking around, you'll see it's very blurry. There's another one. So you can see like you lose a lot of the detail in here. Versus like this. It's got a lot of detail there. Back warehouse area. Here we are again with the MVR rack. Got my MVRs on the wall. It's all their stuff. Look down there, still pretty clean and stuff. Monitors nice and clean behind there. No lines running in between anything. We have our